Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be joining us for the next installment of Partner Insights with myself, Michelle Hodges. I am the SVP of Global Channels and Alliances at Ivanti. And today I am thrilled to be joined with Teddy Schou, the CEO of Clever Choice, really the experts in IT and enterprise service management in your part of the world. Do you want to say anything in introduction, Teddy?
Yeah, nice to meet you, Michelle. And it's good evening here from Denmark. It's evening here in Europe, Northern Europe, so that's where I'm joining from. Nice to join, and thanks for the invite. Looking forward to have this dialogue.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, thanks again for taking time out of your day to join us and talk through. Really, Partner Insights is evolving into be a discussion between vendor and our trusted and most strategic partners. And we're learning lots about how we all sell, how we learn about our customers' problems and use technology to deliver, excellent outcomes. So they've been fascinating conversations, and I can't wait to dig in. So I'm just going to get going with a couple questions. One of the things I know about your business is you take a very consultative approach towards working with your customers. Can you talk to me about how important that approach is to understanding your business, your customers' needs, and then delivering solutions?
Sure. I can try to give an insight, and then just feel free to ask if anything is unclear. So I think first of all, let's just agree on what is consultative selling, right? And I do believe if you had a look at Google or something like it's a sort of a sales approach, where I think the key word is relationship, and then sort of open dialogue based on customer needs. I think that's sort of the wiki version of it, and I do believe in that. So I think it's about actually versus product selling or that approach. I would say starting out with the customer and the customer needs. I think that's a key starting point from us from a selling perspective, because don't really believe that if you have to do a proper sale, I think you have to start with the customer need, right? So where is the customer coming from? What is the history of the customer? Where's the customer going? And having that dialogue. So that's often where we start. On the other hand, we also in a part of your product portfolio, IT and enterprise service management, which is rather complex. It's process driven. It's a lot of involvement of your employees as a customer, and that means that you have to take care of organizational change management. You need to have your. It's something else than deploying a security tool in your operations where you don't necessarily involve that many people. Where we operate, we need to take care of the fact that you need to have a stellar product, but you also need to have an organization that are able to sort of take that into the organization, and also it has to fit with the strategy of the company that the strategy that would be in IT. So that's why we have that consultative approach and
Got
starting
it.
off with the situation. Yeah.
I heard you talk about relationships, and one of the things that you and your company is great at is building relationships and loyalty. And so I'd love to ask you on two sides. One, you know, everybody, not everybody at Avanti, but you are well networked within Avanti and you make an effort to make relationships. And then two, your customers are very loyal, right? In a value driven ecosystem, which is what, we've built, you deliver value and relationship to such a point where customers want to stay with you. Can you talk to me about, as a leader, how you
Sure.
instill that in your company?
Sure. Yeah, sure. I can. And to be honest, I think it goes beyond that for myself. I have to admit that I've been quite a few years in the industry, and I've been in those companies many years ago that had a very product oriented focus, and it was all about getting that contract home, getting the celebration, getting the commission, and all that. And then I maybe realized some time later that the customer might or might not use it, right? So this is our own company, my partner Brian and myself. So we decided when setting up the company, some of our core values would try to have a focus on actually delivering some tangible result to the customer. In order to do so, I think it is a people game. It's like you say exactly. We invest heavily in getting to know all the right people, including yourself, within Ivanti. And the reason for us doing so is that whenever I need something, I can call a person or maybe to reach out to get an opinion, right? Or getting my idea across. It's the same with the customers. If I see myself as a sort of, and my team as a sort of ambassador for you guys here in our local territory where you're not present. So we try to take the best out of the great technology you have, then put on top of that our implementation methodology, good knowledge about what other customers have succeeded with, and all that. Based on that, we try to build a foundation and on some values that drives a long-term relationship. But you have to earn the right to do so. And that relationship comes out of mutual respect, and then actually respecting where the customer is coming from, not overselling. It's good to do. You have to do the product selling and the pros and all that, of course. But I do believe in a fair and balanced and open, transparent dialogue that creates respect. And by that, actually catering the way for a long-term relationship based on an open dialogue. And also that, we, as you mentioned, we have customers in this area of anywhere from 5 to 10 years or even more. That's a long time to work together if it doesn't
Yeah.
work. So when I was in one of those companies many years ago, and it wasn't really that nice. So that's the foundation of our company and the values we drive, and that's what we tell our employees. And we also support them when they're actually, it could be in a sales case or something. Let's say that if we feel that for some reason it doesn't really work, then let's have that open dialogue, and then better walk away if we are not the one to be able to deliver. So I think hope that gives an idea or perspective on it.
Absolutely. You talk a little bit about trust. You said two things in there: trust and metrics and deliverables.
Yeah,
One of the things I know about Clever Choice, this is a very American phrase. You say what you do and you do what you say.
yeah,
So it means you deliver, right, on what you commit. How do you use measurements in your selling process to do that with your customers, right? So you understand the problem, you define what the outcome is going to be.
yeah.
How do you then tie metrics to that to be able to deliver on what you've committed?
Yeah, I think there's more to it. There's several things to it. One of them is the understanding that any customer that goes into a dialogue around a project doesn't really, let's say, it's not about buying the product itself. It's about, what is the outcome they're trying to achieve. It might be a maturity journey over the next 5 years, supporting, including tools that they need to deliver on from a customer strategy perspective, maybe a growth strategy as a company or whatever, new ownership, something else. We need to fit into that, right? And then the open and honest dialogue and understanding on what's going on the customer side, having that dialogue with the customer already early in the sales cycle, that builds the trust. I think getting and spending time on getting the understanding what's actually going on the customer side, and then down the road try to see how can we help the customer be successful. How can we, in our position with the knowledge we have, help them be successful? So the sponsors we meet out there, those persons representing the company that we meet, can we make them successful in their whatever journey they're on in that company? I think that's what we're trying to do. And the metrics is in that dialogue very open and honest, trying to get sort of a plan together with that customer. See what is it we are aiming for, right? What's the time frame on the customer side, budgeting, stuff like that. How can we support them in their times being spent on what they're doing, right? And I think working in that way also internally with our own team, trying to have this open, transparent, and honest feedback sort of builds a foreseeable and transparent business. And then you need a certain volume as well, because as you know, even though that you try to predict and you try to say, okay, this contract we most likely gonna close that, end of next quarter. Everything in my plus 20 years in this industry I've seen, so everything happens right from family issues to crisis to company being taken over, whatever. So you need to have sort of a certain volume in your way of doing business as well, and respect that. Have enough to work on. Let's say a number of cases. So if that customer case is not in the right position right now, fair enough. Instead of discounting heavily, maybe trying to squeeze the customer like some vendors do, let's take it when it's ready, or at least try to, right? On the other hand, I also know there's a lot of really, really strong negotiator on the customer side, and they like the game just as well as we do often, right? So they want to strike that good deal as well, and maybe deliver back to their organization maybe a certain achievement as part of the negotiation. So I think it's a good. I think we like it, and the customer can feel we like it as well, and then it gets
Mm,
that good energy, right? And then we try to sort of win situation. I know it's a phrase that's often misused, but we actually try to build that relationship with the people we work with and have fun on the way.
yeah,
I think that's what helps us.
yeah. So this is a question we didn't prepare, but we're talking before the call about selling at volume, but then figuring out how to deliver,
Yeah,
and all the orchestration that you have to do to deliver.
sure.
Um, uh, what are some of your tips because you're so high growth?
Yeah,
And so I know that delivery challenge happens every month for you.
yeah.
What are some of your tips about managing growth and operational complexity?
It is a tough one, right? Because we are a self-funded company and we don't have any depth, and we have the ambition in trying to do so in order to have the freedom to say yes or no ourselves. And that challenged the way that how because often you need the resources before you have the product, right? And if you need to fund them, so how do you balance that? But I think in honesty, I think it's about, again, open and transparent, and I do know that some of our customers are pushing us a bit, especially this time of year up against summer now, trying to do deliverables, and when we really try to take care of our team in order to make sure that everybody is fit for purpose and able to go to work and do whatever customers expect of them. But also, I'm really trying hard to protect my team, because sometimes, and it's not out of bad habit or anything, but sometimes customers are squeezed on their timelines, and that pressure is putting on us. Then I'm trying to step in and try to help my team, protect my team, and then take the pressure a bit away and have a good and open dialogue with the customer, and then we get that trust again, right? And then maybe get back on a track where everybody. And if we go that extra mile, then most often we manage. But to be honest, as you know, we are quite successful, and with the Ivanti stuff coming out, with all the new good stuff, with all the changes going on, the development, we get a lot of good feedback from the market. There's a lot of momentum, and that momentum is a challenge. But on the other hand, what we also do is we network not only with yourself, the Ivanti team, but also with some of the other partners in Europe. And just a few days ago, I set up the meeting just here next week before the summer with some of my co-partners in other geos of the world, how we can support each other as well, right? Because sometimes they have maybe a bit extra capacity, or maybe, and then share and work together. That's how we try to build it.
Capacity, and also there's so much to value to deliver in the deployment of our solutions, right?
Yeah,
And I know you all share best practices or
yeah.
around getting the most out of the technology for the customers. So yeah.
That's at least what we most often we succeed. But sometimes we get it wrong, and then we need to redo it, and then pay the learning, and then yeah, I think we try to find a good balance there.
Yeah. But you build such loyalty in your customers that they sit with you, which is something I respect highly.
Yeah, we try to, at least. That's
Yeah.
the ambition. We often succeed.
Um, I could chit chat with you for a
Sure.
while. I love spending time with you, but we're going to run out of time here. If you had one thing that you'd like to leave with this audience, what's one thing you'd like to share with everyone?
There's a lot of good stuff I could share, but first of all, kudos to the Ivanti team and the Ivanti people. I would say that, because it is a people game, and it's also a people game when we are in the market, and we run into issues and need your help as a vendor. And I must say that, and told that last we met in the US as well, that I have a really strong team from your side supporting us. And I think that's really key. And to any, we work with more vendors, and all of them aspire to be the strategic one. And I said, that seat is already taken by Avanti. And the reason for that is not only that we do a lot of business together, but it's also the people and the trust we built between the two of us. Because you guys, I can have one of your teammates in our meetings, or we can be in your meetings, and we have that transparency. So my advice, or I would say that, take a bit of time in investing in the relationship, because it is a people game, and get to understand what's on your agenda and how can we support you guys in what you're trying to achieve. And when you run into issues, sort that at home, right, between the two of us, instead of taking that to the customer and then take that pressure. Keep it at home. Try to be professional. Build that respect, not only when you're closing a deal, but also
Yeah.
with your relationship, that you and us as a partner, you as a vendor. I think that's key for our strategic. That's also why we see long-term strategic value in what we're doing together.
Yeah. I would
Yeah.
also add to that, what makes you great is your competence and your technical
Mm.
understanding. I mean, you go out of your way.
Yeah.
You're very complimentary about the enablement that we provide you, but you go further and you teach us as well. And so that's a huge differentiator for you.
Yeah, I think it's important for us to, and we have successfully done that for some time now, and that we get a lot of good feedback from the customer base. And it's our duty, as we see it, to bring that back to you guys, right? Because some of it here in Northern Europe, some of the customers are doing really, really great stuff, and they have a really good feedback that could benefit a lot of customers, right? Might not be all geos of the world that are at the same forefront taking new technology in, and all that good information. Let's bring that back to you guys. For us, it's a help, actually helping those customers getting their, whatever ask they have back. But on the other hand, it's also helping other customers getting access to something that they might not know at this time point, but come
Yeah.
later. So that's also why we do it.
Yeah. We all get better. Well,
Yeah.
Teddy, thank you so much for not only your time, but for your partnership and for being one of our most strategic partners. We are grateful for the partnership. So thanks, Teddy.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.